Okay, so this is going to be a pretty direct video. Pretty much one plate also. I keep hearing everyone talk about schools like, oh, they should teach finance in school. They should teach you how to balance a budget. They should teach you nutrition. They should teach you this. They should teach you that. Like, the reason they don't do this, and I don't disagree that some of it, nutrition, a lot of it needs to be revamped. I don't even want to talk about it. You need that general knowledge of science, history. Your fucking parents are supposed to teach you how to balance a budget. If they suck at it, sadly, that's the cycle that runs. If you have a bad dad that beats your mom and doesn't give a fuck about you, guess what? You're probably going to grow up to be a pretty shitty person. It's not on you, but sadly, it's on you. We have to understand that as a nation, as a people, we do have to take responsibilities for what we're doing, but we also have to understand that we are only a generation or two away from absolutely losing everything. November 11th is not a date that's recognizable, but we have got so far away from anything that seems terroristic, that seems this was some bad stuff. Everybody sees the pictures of Ellen and George Bush together, and it's like, how come I can't hang out with anyone on the right? And it's like, that's like a neocon. That's like a globalist. You're looking right and left, and these people are fucking all around you. It's not a right or left issue. Our schools do need to be changed. The way they teach, what they teach, how they teach it, the length they teach it. Why do we need such a long school day? How do we know this is the best way? We don't. People like me are here to illuminate what is going on. We are so concerned about being factually right. What you see as the facts, and everybody says these things don't change, and it's like, I understand they don't, but progress is made. New light is shined on things, and things do need to be looked at a different way. Lots of history is fuzzed to a point that it's not unrecognizable. It's different. It's different than what really happened. We're going through something that would be considered a civil war. And guess what? If it comes down to said actual physical conflict, it's not going to be the same type of physical conflict because it is for a different said meaning. Without the internet, you have these people hate blacks, they've enslaved blacks, they won't give up said blacks, let's go kill them and help out the blacks. Their premise is going to be a bunch of races that didn't want brown people in the country. How is this any different? How is this not supposed to be learned? Supposed to be... Hate is learned. Disorder is learned. And that's like causing disorder. Chaos is learned. Some days, my kid, I don't do anything of normal repetition around him. I just go off the heel about everything. Not even crazy, it's just like questioning, adding pressure. Do you not understand that the finest things are made from pressure? And it's not that I'm trying to distort reality. I'm trying to increase the productivity of his future reality. Whenever he gets to where he's going to have a mind that understands that something might go crazy. Be ready, but don't be that type of ready. Don't be the type that you can't leave your house because you're afraid an earthquake's going to blow up and you're never going to do anything. There's a very fine line in between crazy and mental disorder. There's a very fine line in between Democrat and Republican. There is a very huge line in between liberal and conservative. Okay? There is distinguishing factors on all this stuff that aren't very distinguished. And when you start talking mass media wise, a lot of those people really try to blur those lines. Any lines. I say those lines, any lines. They just try to continue and continue and continue and continue and continue. It's like a joke that didn't work, but it's continued and it's continued and it's continued. We're at a time that not only has things changed, things are still changing. You have some person on the other side of the planet who grew up as self-righteously entitled as anyone on the effing planet and is telling us how we're killing it. Well, I'm going to start off with, there's a big block of land over there that have a bunch of and those people actually are fucking up a lot of the world. Not just economically, even though that's present also. It's more environmental. It's more, fuck you, strip mine this. This doesn't matter. Like, and some people say it's not true. Every report I've read says half of the fucking trash that's added to the ocean every year is one country. Third letter. That's all I want to say. It's not that I bow down. It's not that I do anything. I am more than concerned. Even more concerned than this. You have to understand that if this nation does fall, there's one mighty power here waiting. And it's not a power that is anything like the current. We are trading salt for pepper, salt for sugar, or maybe even sugar for salt. However you want to look at it. Water for vinegar. However, we're not going to ruin the planet. We have ruined the planet to a point. To a point, it's very savable. We don't understand all this stuff. And anybody that says we do, please drop a link. Please conversate. I would absolutely love the ability to learn something from someone about global warming. Not just the goalposts move, we're still going to die. The goalposts move, we're still going to die. We're going to die. Hey, guess what? We're all going to die. It's the only thing you can't stop. So let's stop trying to profit off of it, and let's start to really try to develop from it. The only reason there's even petrol engines around at the current status quo is because we could run off of our own made alcohol. You could make your own grain whiskey, and towns could do that. You could make your own whiskey and say, everybody gets their rations. So you could. It won't happen because the money's not there. Not that the money's not there to do it. If you take your electrical where it comes to your house and your box, remove said box, remove electrical off box, develop something that causes that spinning thing to have a bank, and it just keeps making energy. And you have a passive, like, we can supply the planet with anything that we wanted. You won't. You won't. It's a power thing. Joe Rogan and Roseanne, they just want us all dead. They just want to make as much money, get as much shit as they can, and then kill us all. Because it doesn't matter. None of you matter. Except for, as an American, I know that we created the ground. Is John Deere not a fucking American company? So, most of the big agricultural things seemed like they not started here, but were developed here. And actually became what they are now. Is China making fake-ass implements like this? No. Because you don't make a $40,000 object that'll last 2 years. It's hard enough making these size objects last as long as they do. Understand that we're here. We have to do something. And if you're not here to do something, let it be known.